I fired my boss by the age of 30, and in this video today, I'm going to show you the exact 3-step framework I use to achieve financial independence, fire my employer, and build multiple streams of income that allowed me to walk away from my 9-to-5 forever and start living the life of my dream. Well, this wasn't as easy as it sounds, since I was essentially walking away from a 6-figure income that was 100% remote in an industry and with people that I absolutely loved working with. But more on that later. By the end of this video, you're gonna have the 3 easy step framework to go ahead and build financial independence. I'm also gonna explain the 3 pillars that were essential for building the life of my dreams. And I'm also gonna talk about the differences between what's financial independence, what's financial freedom, and some of the differences and variants that come in with those things. There's a big FIRE movement out there these days, so I'll get into a little bit of that as well. Years ago, I went from loving my job to absolutely feeling trapped by it, and it kind of brings up a story that maybe some people are familiar with. I realized the life that I wanted required drastic changes. This wasn't an overnight realization, it was a gradual process of understanding that my current path wouldn't lead me to the freedom that I truly desired. I decided to start making significant sacrifices and start living this dream. These sacrifices needed to be big things. So I started giving up things and reorganizing what are the priorities in my life. I gave up drinking, partying, weekend outings. By day, I worked about 60 hours on the startup, pouring my energy into creativity and building something from the ground up. By night, I dedicated to 20 to 30 hours to writing my book and building my own side hustles. It was exhausting, but I was a man on a mission to change my life. The reality is, if you want to achieve extraordinary results, you need to set extraordinary goals and need to reorganize your life. So you might be thinking, what sparked all of this? What sparked this drastic change from loving your job to not really wanting to do that for the rest of your life? I remember vividly waking up a day in a panic, checking my phone on Christmas Day, and having to cut time with my family short to put out fires at work. This was one of the moments I decided I needed to take more control over my life. I was essentially trading some of my most precious time for the startup that I was helping build. This essentially led me to build the 3 main pillars I wanted to have in my life, and I'll explain the significance of all 3 of these. So think of these 3 pillars as the 3 essential things that you want to work towards in your life. And financial independence is going to be one of them, but there's 2 other important things. And depending on where you're at, and depending on where I was, I actually had a different set of orders of priority. You know, what are the orders of your pillars? It's also going to be something that's important to think about, because you need to prioritize one of the pillars first before you can achieve all 3. So the 3 main pillars are time freedom, location independence, and financial independence. So let's go ahead and break down what exactly that is. Time freedom, or being able to control your calendar, is one of the most important aspects that I wanted to build in my life, and here's why. Without control over your time, you're just trading hours for dollars. No matter where you're at in the world, time freedom isn't just about not working, it's about working smarter, but mainly on your own terms. Time is our most precious resource, and this is why it was my most essential pillar number 1. To build this pillar, you need to develop a high-value, location-independent skills. The world doesn't need another digital nomad selling dropshipping courses. What it needs are skilled professionals who can deliver real value from anywhere. For me, that came in the form of digital marketing and online business consulting. For you, it might be programming, content creation, virtual project management. The key is to focus on skills that are in high demand, can be delivered remotely, but more importantly, can be done at your own pace. Meaning you're typically going to have a deadline, and you're going to be able to organize everything between now and that deadline. You can work in the mornings, at night, in the afternoons, but essentially you're going to be able to control your own calendar. You can say yes or no to meetings. You can work whenever you want, as little or as much as you want. You can scale things up or down. Time freedom is one of the hardest things to achieve, but it's also one of the most important. As somebody who's traveled to more than 100 different countries, location independence or location freedom, being able to work from anywhere was absolutely essential in being one of my core pillars to achieve the life of my dreams. This pillar is more than just about being able to work from a laptop on the beach, although that's definitely a perk. True location independence means having the freedom to live and work from anywhere in the world without sacrificing your career or your income. Building this pillar requires a complete mindset shift. You need to break free from the 9-to-5 mentality and embrace a results-oriented approach to work. It's about being your own boss, setting your own schedule, and staying productive without somebody looking over your own shoulder. To strengthen this pillar, focus on developing excellent communication skills, self-discipline, and the ability to manage your time more effectively across different time zones. You need to learn how to build and maintain professional relationships virtually, and how to collaborate effectively with teams spread across the globe. Nowadays, location independence is more regular than you might think. You just need to change your mindset and focus on a career path that allows it. Now, without this next pillar, you'll never be able to truly achieve the life of your dreams. And this is what I'm talking about with financial independence and why it's one of the most important pillars to really being in full control of your life. Financial independence is about leveraging your skills in the global marketplace to build multiple streams of income that aren't tied to a specific location or employer. Essentially, like most people go ahead and try and diversify their stocks or have a diversified investment portfolio, you also need to do this for your income. To build this pillar, you need to master the art of personal finance in a global context. This includes being able to take your core skill sets and transfer them to the international and online marketplaces, being able to develop and create multiple business offerings or multiple sources of income. Usually this is going to be a combination of active income and passive income. So you might be wondering, how do you actually go about achieving financial independence? One of the first most important things is to understand, what does financial independence actually mean? Financial freedom typically means having enough savings, investments, and cash on hand to afford the lifestyle you want for yourself and your family. Financial independence, on the other hand, means that you have enough income to cover your living expenses for the rest of your life without having to be employed or dependent on others. So the easiest thing you can think of is, typically you need to achieve financial freedom first, meaning you take full control over your finances. You're able to make your own income, you don't have to depend on somebody else. And then financial independence means that you're able to do this for the rest of your life. You could essentially stop working. So the first step to achieving financial independence or financial freedom is to figure out why. Why do you want to actually achieve this? This is going to be your North Star, and it's going to be the main core motivator to getting you to achieve these goals and to achieving all of these different pillars. If you don't have a strong why, you're going to go on different tangents, and you're not going to be able to stay focused on achieving this one singular goal of achieving financial freedom or financial independence. So I want you to think, what's the reason you actually want financial freedom? Maybe it's to spend more time with family, travel the world, or start a passion project. Your why will be your driving force. For me, the realization came when I was tired of the daily grind and wanted to take control over my own destiny. I wanted to create a life where I was not tied down to a specific location or dependent on my 9-to-5 job. Understanding this was crucial because it gave me the motivation to keep pushing forward even when things got tough. The next most important step to achieving financial freedom is to figure out how much money you need. The amount of money you need if you're a single person living in the US, or if you're a family of 4 who's going to move over to Thailand, is going to be completely different. Determining your age, your family, the life you want to achieve, you're going to have to calculate how much money you need to achieve financial independence, but more importantly, the amount of money you need to sustain yourself to achieve financial freedom. To do this, you want to start by calculating your current living expenses, include everything: rent, utility, groceries, insurance, entertainment, everything else in between. Then think about your future expenses: college tuitions for your kids, medical expenses, retirement. What is the life that you're going to want to live in the next 20 to 30 years look like, and how much is that going to cost? Make sure you factor in inflation as well. The fastest way to achieve financial freedom is by changing your city. What if you could retire 20 to 30 years earlier just by moving overseas? It is possible if you can maintain your current US income, but live in another country like Thailand, which is about 13 times cheaper than America. You can retire faster, save more, and maintain or even improve your quality of life. The cost of living in some countries is significantly lower than the US, which means your money goes much, much further. This doesn't mean you have to move tomorrow, but it's about understanding the options that are available to you. When I was figuring out my numbers, I realized that moving to a lower cost country would allow me to save a substantial amount of money while still enjoying the high standard of living. This made my goal of financial independence more obtainable and allowed me to save more aggressively while still living comfortably, and also allows me to take more risky investments, reinvest a lot more into my businesses so they grow a lot faster. The most important step to achieving financial freedom is to create a plan and figure out a way on how to implement it. Taking control of your income is a huge game changer. My plan was to create multiple streams of income so I wouldn't be reliant on just one source. In 2018, I published my best-selling book with a variety of different business offers. In 2019, I made my first SaaS acquisition, putting my digital marketing knowledge to the test. In 2020, I fired my boss, walked away from my six-figure income, and then the next years later, I would go on to build multiple 6, 7, 8-figure businesses and continue growing my acquisition portfolio. So my plan didn't stop there. I continued building both passive and active income streams by starting businesses from scratch, acquiring and scaling already established online businesses. Diversifying your income is the key to achieving financial independence, and this way, if one stream dries up, you still have others to rely on. Building businesses takes a lot of time, but it's one of the most effective ways to achieve financial independence. You typically can't achieve financial independence or freedom without being an entrepreneur. Or you can, but it's fairly rare. Whether it's a SaaS company, a blog, e-commerce store, the goal is to create something that generates income without requiring constant oversight. Over time, these businesses can grow to provide a significant portion of your income, allowing you to reinvest profits and build even more income streams. Again, your plan needs to stick to one core thing. Focus on one business model, one side hustle that you can start building to replicate your current income. The goal should be able to get 50 to 100% of your current income built up in your side hustle. Once you're at that point, you can shift all of that time that you're putting over there into your side hustle, and it's going to grow a lot faster. One of the things that I realized when doing this was I was giving 60 of my prime best hours to my employer, and I was getting the leftover 20 to 30 hours that weren't really good. I was tired. I was exhausted. Those hours were the leftovers. So once I quit my job and I started focusing those core hours on my businesses, I saw exponential growth. So guys, if you're ready to take action, I'm going to leave a link below to my best-selling book, Global Career: How to Work Anywhere and Travel Forever. You'll be able to pick up a free copy of the audiobook for no charge at all. My book will provide you with the practical steps and insider tips to start your own journey towards financial independence. So thanks for everyone for watching. Remember, financial independence is within your reach, and with the right steps and mindset, it's very achievable. It's going to take time, but getting started today is going to allow you to make moves in the right direction. It's not about making just one big change, but rather a series of smaller strategic decisions that add up over time. Now, thanks again for everyone who stuck around. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips and strategies on achieving financial independence and beyond. I'm going to be leaving a hand-picked video for you right here that I believe will have a huge impact on you. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.